So if we want to actually build a visual, once we've connected up to our data, this is the view that we're looking at. So we click to create a blank report, we select our data source, we connect up to it, and then we have this blank untitled report. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to see how we add a chart. Because if we want to build a visual, we got to start with one of the chart types. So in that menu bar, there is an add a chart button, and that's a drop down. And that drop down takes you to all of those visual with those little icons that we were looking at in that initial screenshot. So we can say, I want to build a bar chart. So we're actually just going to go ahead and click on that bar chart. And that is going to ask us to click and drag that somewhere on the pane. So we're going to need to actually, once we click on that, bring it down to the pane and click and drag to say, this is where we actually want this. It is going to autofill with data from one of your data sources. So whichever data source you're selected, it is going to say, this is the data I think you want to build this with. And right now we are looking at brewery by record count. So how many rows are there for each brewery? And in our brewery data set, we have one per. So the chart pane in this teal border here is reflecting only the selected visual. So we added this blue chart, we added this bar chart, and we have it selected so we can update that visual here. We can update the actual data source. So if it got created with the data source that we didn't want, so maybe it got connected with the beer data and we wanted the brewery data, we can go ahead and use that. We can click on that data source to switch to our other data source. We can change our dimension by dragging and dropping a different dimension from our data pane onto the dimension that was auto-populated. And same thing with our metrics, right? If we don't want record count, we can drag and drop an object from our data pane over our record count, and that will update that field.